Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to the inspiring series where we shall go deep into the story of a truly incredible life story of Jeff Bezos. He was an Amazon founder and is one of the most powerful people in our generation. Whether you want to polish your English listening skills or are here to learn about one of the greatest innovators in the business arena, you have landed at the right place. In this series, we shall look at how Jeff Bezos grew from a curious and ambitious child to a visionary leader who transformed everywhere shopping, everywhere reading, and everywhere space. We shall walk the path he took, from challenges to triumphs, and the audacious decisions that turned Amazon into a global giant. But this story is much more than an entrepreneurial tale. It is about big dreams, hard work, and never giving up, even when the odds are against you. Here, you will acquire new English vocabulary, enjoy clear explanations, and fine-tune your listening skills while soaking in an engaging gastronomic story. So, stay with us through all 4 chapters. After this series, you will not only know Jeff Bezos' story, but you'll also be inspired to improve your English and go after your own dream. Let's start our journey. Long before Amazon became a household name, Jeff Bezos, one of the most well-known and influential persons in the world today, had begun his journey. It is imperative to start at the very beginning. That is, the early life and family background of this man who changed shopping, travel, and space exploration. Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico, on January 12, 1964. But he wasn't always called by the name Jeff Bezos. When Jeff Bezos was born, he was given the full name of Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen. This is because his biological father had the last name Jorgensen. Jacqueline Giza Jorgensen was just 17 years old when she bore him. Imagine being so young and having to immediately rear a baby. It really was not an easy situation. Yet Jacqueline was very strong-willed and determined. She wanted the best for her son and was ready to face the challenges ahead. Jeff's biological father had never been any good to him. His life was one filled with disturbances in alcohol, and he could not be appraised as fair in his parental obligations toward his son. Jacqueline left him when Jeff was just a baby because she had to, knowing that it would have been a better life for her son and herself together. Years later, Jacqueline had married a nice and good kinsman named Mike Bezos. Mike was a Cuban immigrant who came into the United States looking for a better life. He worked as an engineer for Exxon, a very big oil company, and was also very dedicated to his family. Mike treated Jeff as his own son, and later went along to formally adopt him. This adoption formalized the name change of Jeff from Jorgensen to Bezos. Mike Bezos was a very influential figure in Jeff's life from a very early age. Jeff learned hard work and persistence from his stepfather, lessons that would stay with him and be helpful in his forward journey. Jeff was an inherently curious child. He loved to explore and find out how things worked. Once, when he was just a toddler, he began to dismantle his crib with a screwdriver because he wanted a real bed. Imagine a toddler trying to dismantle his own bed. This story tells us how eager he was to learn and to experiment from a very young age. While Jeff was getting older, he spent many days at his grandfather Lawrence Preston Giza's ranch in Texas. The grandfather, Lawrence, had been a nuclear physicist, a very complex science on atoms and energy. Lawrence imparted valuable lessons, how to fix a tractor, repair a piece of machinery, and think outside the box when devising solutions. These life experiences endowed Jeff with an attraction for technology and innovation, which stayed with him throughout his life. Jeff was another amazing student. He was very curious, and the urge to read books about science, space, and technology was strong in him. His teachers would notice how focused and determined Jeff was. One funny story that happened while he was still a kid involved him setting up an alarm system to keep his siblings out of his bedroom. He created this do-it-yourself security system while he was just a little boy. Just imagine it. This shows how creative and crafty Jeff was even at that time. By the time he was in high school, Jeff had a concrete dream. He wanted to be an entrepreneur who starts and runs a business and creates something exceptional. He would tell his buddies that he wanted to start a company that would enable men to someday live in space. During the high school years, Jeff's family moved to Miami, Florida, where he attended Miami Palmetto Senior High School. Jeff remained an excellent student who graduated at the top of his class as valedictorian. In his valedictory speech, Jeff spoke about his vision for the future, extending human civilization from the earth. It is on the basis of this speech that the world realized an ambitious and forward-thinking person existed even then. When most young people were contemplating which college to attend or which path to take, Jeff was already envisioning a time when humans would live beyond Earth. These early dreams and experiences showed that he was no ordinary young man. He was an individual who thought big and dreamed even bigger. After a blossoming and successful high school career, carried by curiosity and big dreams, Jeff Bezos felt that he should take the next step in his journey, the college step. But Jeff was no run-of-the-mill type. He wanted to study things that would aid him in translating his ideas into reality and in preparing him for the future he envisioned. Being one of the foremost institutions in the U.S., Princeton University, set in New Jersey, was his choice of school. In his lay opinion, universities with a high reputation for science programs would attract more professors who would just be there to teach his technical skills. On that strength alone, he took up electrical engineering and computer science. In essence, the subjects equipped him with all the technical knowledge needed to relate and work with an ever-evolving world of technology. During his stay in Princeton, Jeff's love was blossoming for computers and technology. Most of his free time was spent tinkering with computers, trying to understand how they worked while brainstorming how technology could change the world. He was not interested in computers merely as tools. Rather, he wanted to invent new technology and tackle big problems. As a person who required really hard work from himself, the young man very much gained the reputation of a workaholic. For the most part, he stayed put through late nights, reading books, one of the most difficult problems, and drenched in every bit of knowledge. While most of his colleagues wasted their precious time on parties and social events, Jeff never looked back and knew what he was targeting. Jeff engaged with the Princeton University Computer Science Club, where he hung around with fellow students and professors who shared his technology passion. This environment provided Jeff with continuous momentum upon which to develop his learning. His graduation took place in the year 1986, and with this graduation, many doors had opened for Jeff. He then started working for a small company called Fettel, helping with building technology for fiber optics. Fiber optics is special technology that uses light to send information long distances away. It is very important for the Internet and modern communication systems. The Internet presented such a big-picture idea that one needed to view it from Jeff's perspective while he was working at Fettel. Next, Jeff, who had worked at Bankers Trust, had experienced some business and money handling. This gave him valuable experience in the financial sector. After Bankers Trust, Jeff began working at D.E. Shaw and Company, an investment firm, and he did so as a financial analyst. Analysts tend to study the markets and make decisions regarding money and investments. It was a very well-paying job, and many would have happily remained in it for life. But Jeff was not happy. He felt that making money for someone else was not enough. He had dreamed of building something massive, a company that could change the world. In 1994, Jeff had an idea that would forever change life on Earth. He was reading an article about the rapid growth of the Internet. At that time, the Internet was still very new, and very few people really grasped the magnitude of what it was going to be. Jeff envisioned the sale of products online via the Internet. He thought, what if I start an online bookstore? A store where people could buy books from their computers. Yet, his vision went beyond merely selling books. He wanted to build the largest online bookstore in history, a place capable of selling to millions of customers anywhere, anytime. An incredible idea. For the most part, until then, people carried out book sales in brick-and-mortar shops. The Internet was an alien and uncharted territory, especially for businesses. Jeff left behind a cushy job at D.E. Shaw amidst all the risks and proceeded to move to Seattle to start his company. Seattle was a high-tech-driven city, and thus was a great place for a startup. Jeff and Mackenzie Scott worked together in making their dream come true. Amazon, just like many famous technology companies, was started in their garage. In the early days of Amazon, Jeff did not have financial reserves to start his company with. But his resolve was far too strong for him to back away. He put in very long hours designing and building a website where customers could order books online. There were many challenges in the way. Things were not easy. At the beginning, the Amazon site was very tiny and simple, selling books. But Jeff's ideas were way bigger than just books. He wanted it to be a place where people could buy everything they wanted. As Amazon was growing, there were many challenges that Jeff had to face. People were hard to convince when it came to placing orders online. At the time, most customers preferred to shop in physical stores, as they worried about losing their money online and whether or not they would receive their orders. In Jeff's opinion, one day, the people would trust online shopping. Therefore, he worked on establishing Amazon as a trustworthy brand where online purchases would go out in proper time, and customer support would be at the best level. In the beginning, Amazon was a small team. Jeff, his wife, and a few employees worked out of the garage. But they all worked tirelessly to enhance the website, improve shipping times, and add new products. By 1997, Amazon had grown a lot. It became a public company, so any person could buy shares or small parts of the company and become a stakeholder in its success. It was, however, still not making profits. In fact, it lost money in its first few years of existence. Jeff, however, was not worried about it. He was confident that in the long term, Amazon would succeed. By the year 2000, Amazon had become the biggest online retailer in the world. Everywhere, people started recognizing the company, whereby Jeff's dream was becoming true. Jeff had taken a big risk by leaving a secure job and entering an arena with little to show for him yet. However, passion for technology and solving real-world problems has gone a long way toward making a great substance. When Jeff Bezos started it, back in 1994, it was not the colossal company it is today. It was like any other startup, existing only in someone's garage in Seattle. But Jeff had huge dreams, and he was ready to put in hard work to make those dreams come true. Early days were filled with challenges to confront, bouts of learning, and important turns that shaped the company into a global leader in online shopping. With the internet still in its youth, and with almost half the population not understanding it well enough, online shopping was very uncommon. Most customers preferred buying products in physical stores so that they could at least see and touch the items before the purchase. Convincing them to trust Amazon and buy books online was one of the early big challenges for Jeff. Many customers worried about giving away their credit card information. They feared either their money would be stolen or lost on the internet. Mostly, others believed the products would never arrive or would be the wrong items. Jeff had to build trust for online shopping to work. He started putting customer experience first, ensuring the website was easy to navigate and functioned perfectly. He also worked hard to ensure products were delivered on time and, whenever trouble occurred, Amazon's customer service team would act swiftly to resolve the problem. This emphasis on building trust and focusing on customer experience stood out as one of the main values for Amazon. For Jeff, good customer relationships gained through trust were the backbone of repeat business. At first, Amazon marketed only books, but Jeff had plans for far more. He imagined Amazon as a store where people could buy anything they desired, not just books. By 1998, this vision expanded multiple steps forward into music CDs, electronics, and toys, thereby establishing itself as a genuine online marketplace. With a view to growing rapidly, Amazon needed to focus on improving many aspects of the business, crucially in the area of shipping. Consumers wanted their items fast and delivered on time reliably. Jeff saw shipping as an essential part of the customer experience. Hence, he began to get into talks with shipping companies to expedite the delivery. Amazon struck deals with other companies to retail their goods on the Amazon website, thus making products of many types available without having to stock them all. These partnerships enabled Amazon to expand much faster and stock millions of products. By the year 1999, Amazon's site had become huge. Amazon was offering millions of various items, making it one of the biggest online shopping platforms in the world. The bigger world was really seeing Jeff's vision come true, having everything in one place. The path was, of course, not always smooth. The late 1990s and early 2000s saw the so-called dot-com bubble, a time of formation of many internet companies with very little planning. Many of the companies failed, causing a loss of confidence among investors. During this period, Amazon was losing money instead of making profits. People began doubting whether Amazon could survive. Some even predicted that the company was going to fold. Jeff was again confronted with that hard reality that Amazon was growing fast, but not making money yet. In spite of this adversity, Jeff never gave up. Jeff had the belief that Amazon was on the right path and success would come in due season. He focused on the long run, even if it meant bearing losses in the short run. Jeff came to realize that the company needed to change in order to continue thriving. Hence, he began a new focus: building the infrastructure, the systems and services that would sustain Amazon's growth for decades. One of these changes was the building of Amazon's own shipping system. In other words, brand building started with the establishment of Amazon-owned warehouses and delivery networks to complement or supplant third-party shipping companies. In this way, Amazon could control more tightly how fast shipments arrived, from shipping logistics down to the final cost. Another big change was a new business that allowed third parties to sell their products on Amazon's website. This made Amazon more of a marketplace than a store. Now the average person could sell their actual products on Amazon, and Amazon would just take a small percentage. That helped Amazon grow without having all the risks of having to buy and store the actual products themselves. And this sort of marketplace shook things up. By 2003, Amazon was no longer just a bookstore or a store selling products directly. It has become a huge online marketplace where millions of products, sold from all over the world, could be bought, sold, and shipped. As Amazon grew bigger, Jeff went out in search of new strategies to keep customers pleased and loyal. Among his most powerful ideas was Prime, which began in 2005. Prime was a membership program wherein customers paid a yearly fee for access to free 2-day shipping on nearly all products. This idea was the turning point for online shopping. Customers were thrilled with fast and free shipping. Because orders arrived swiftly and free of charge, personalized with a Prime membership, customers were more likely to shop more often with Amazon. At the start, many doubted that customers would pay for a membership like Prime. It soon, however, became a great success, with millions of subscribers by 2010. It kept customers happy and loyal. Jeff Bezos and his team kept going. Amazon introduced a lot of different inventions that changed the way the world shops and even lives. For one, in 2007, they launched the Kindle, an electronic reader that transformed the ease and popularity of reading digital books. Amazon grew bigger and bigger and had new businesses, like grocery delivery with Amazon Fresh, bringing fresh produce right to people's homes. Amazon launched Alexa, a voice-activated assistant, in 2014 that could play music, control smart home devices, and answer various queries. This was yet another step to make technology simple and useful for customers. Focused on creativity, maximizing customer experience, and building long-term value, Jeff took Amazon from being a mere fledgling web-based bookstore to becoming one of the most valuable companies on Earth. There's no uncertainty about an Amazon breakout in the early 2000s, with profitability coming in 2003. After that, it skyrocketed, changing forever the retail industry. There are lots of risks that Bezos took, tons of challenges he had to face, and many sleepless nights behind the making of Amazon. It is his vision, sweat, and belief in technology that have created an entity that has transformed the way the world shops. Not only is Jeff Bezos known for making Amazon one of the world's biggest online retailers, but he is also noted for his peculiar vision and leadership style. He gave a different vision to business, to customers, and to the future, which led to Amazon being termed a company that changed the world. In this chapter, we are going to discuss his leadership principles, his key innovations, and projects outside Amazon, where his influence continues. One of the first things anyone notices about Jeff Bezos is his big thinking. He is always looking 10s, maybe even 50, years down the road into what the world will look like. While many companies live day to day, chasing short-term profits and quick wins, Jeff is one of those rare leaders that really bear their mind toward the long term. He believes that long-term thinking leads to better decisions and greater results. That long-term thinking is a secret sauce that gave rise to Amazon. Jeff said once, "If we think long-term, we can make better decisions." Putting it another way, it sometimes means sacrificing short-term gains for building a potent company in the long run. Another important aspect of Jeff's leadership is the obsession with the customer. If you convince a company to put the customer first and work hard to satisfy that customer, then success will surely follow. Since the beginning in 1994, it has been Amazon's goal to be the most customer-centric company in the world. As part of this customer-first strategy, Amazon strives to ensure low prices, fast shipping, easy returns, and top-tier service. Jeff states that Amazon's most important asset is the trust customers place in the company. Without customers trusting Amazon, it would not stand where it currently does. Another famous philosophy created by Jeff is called the Day One mentality. That means that no matter how large Amazon gets, it should operate with the energy and creativity of a startup, willing to try new things. He believes every day at Amazon should feel like the first day of a new business. This view of the world keeps it focused on innovation and improvement, instead of going dormant or slow. An invention that Amazon is renowned for under Jeff's stewardship is the patented Buy Now with One Click feature. In those days, online shopping was slow and complicated. People would first add items to their carts, type in their credit card information, and wait for a long payment processing time. The system Jeff and his team put together enabled customers to purchase items online with just a simple click. Shopping thus became much faster and simpler. This saved time and encouraged purchases because the system was so smooth and easy to use. This idea became so successful that others in the online retailing space started to imitate it. These actions gave Amazon a cutting-edge advantage and higher sales. Jeff and Amazon went on to create more innovations that impacted the way people shop and use technology. For example, Amazon Prime was not just for expedited shipping anymore. After a while, Prime members were able to gain access to movies, TV shows, and music, plus special promotions, making it one of the biggest membership programs in the world. Amazon also launched Alexa, a voice assistant operating on devices like the Amazon Echo. Alexa can play music, answer questions, control smart home devices, and help with daily chores. This technology put Amazon on the map of smart homes and voice recognition. Amazon also ventured beyond retail and launched Amazon Web Services, AWS, in 2006, a cloud computing platform for companies to store data and run applications on Amazon servers. AWS later grew to be one of the biggest sources of revenue for Amazon, and, in addition, opened newer avenues into technology for the company. Jeff Bezos' vision doesn't end on Earth. Space exploration is one of his greatest dreams. True to this, he founded Blue Origin in 2000, a company aiming to make space travel more affordable and accessible to lots of people. Blue Origin intends to create technology to send humans to space, develop space colonies, and lessen pollution on Earth by shifting some industries into space. Jeff believes that getting into space will one day be as common as hopping onto a plane. In 2021, Jeff Bezos set a record by going into space himself aboard the New Shepard rocket from Blue Origin. This flight can further turn space travel into something available to many. Jeff's fascination with space is a clue to his future-oriented thinking and wish to take on projects that can shape the fate of humanity. Bezos is also very much into saving the planet. In 2020, he launched the Bezos Earth Fund with a $10 billion commitment toward combating climate change and saving the environment. This fund helps organizations working to reduce carbon emissions and to preserve the Earth for future generations. In addition to his business inclination and green beliefs, Jeff's background tells tales. For 25 years, he was married to novelist Mackenzie Scott. They met while working at a hedge fund and had 4 children. Though they divorced in 2019, Jeff and Mackenzie remained good friends. Mackenzie became an eminent philanthropist, donating billions to various causes. A little while later, Jeff started dating Lauren Sanchez, who had been a TV anchor and helicopter pilot. They have been together since 2019. Throughout his life's winding roads, Jeff somehow has balanced his hectic schedules with quality time for family. In his precious downtime with his children, he enjoys beach outings or hiking trips with them. Religion, family, and relationships stand as tall for Jeff as business success, despite his being one of the richest living persons. Now that Jeff Bezos' net worth has crossed the $170 billion mark, its story couldn't be told without sharing that it did not come about in a moment. It was earned through hard work, risk-taking, and retention of unyielding persistence. His story teaches that success is not about money or fame only. It is about having a vision, working hard, and being willing to wipe out the challenges. Jeff started Amazon with a dream and a strong belief that online shopping could change the world. His story shows that no matter how big your dream is, you can achieve it by starting small, taking risks, and never stopping. If anyone is thinking about starting a business, Jeff's story should be a shining beacon. The road lies all uphill, but it will be worth it. Start out with a clear-cut idea of solving a problem or making life better. Concentrate on customers. Work hard. Be open to learning and failing. Every failure is a step closer to success. Jeff Bezos took the big risk by quitting a lucrative job and beginning Amazon. Successful people know that great rewards often come from big challenges. Remember, it's not just about arriving at the destination. It's about the journey. Every mistake and setback brings us a valuable lesson. Jeff Bezos has shown us that the future is full of possibilities. His greatest present projects are space travel, climate change, and helping the needy. The wealthiest may still do something good for humankind through their power, and so can you. No matter who you are or what you are up against, you have a chance to write your future. You can start your journey to success right now. Believe in yourself. Dream big. Take action. The future is waiting for you. Just like Jeff Bezos, you can make a great and eternal mark on the world. The story of Jeff Bezos is full of marvelous incidents. We have gone through his childhood, college years, the early difficult times of Amazon, and how he has led changes in the world of online selling and technology. The story of Jeff gives us lessons about vision, courage, and the power to persevere. It shows that a person can succeed when she or he stands behind his or her ideas, works hard every day, and keeps moving forward even when times are hard. Remember that no matter where you come from or what kind of challenges life throws at you, your destiny is in your own hands. Like Jeff Bezos, you too can dream big, take risks, and make something wonderful. Keep developing your English with stories like this, and put to good use what you learn to open new doors for yourself. Your journey to success begins now. Stay inspired and motivated, and never stop believing in yourselves. Until the next edition, thank you for being here.